Jimmy here, back in the workshop again, glutton for punishment. But summer's coming and we need to get on doing something else on the van. So if you haven't seen me before, I'm converting that van into a camper van. So I'll just show you what my next job's going to be. Right, if you just walk this way through my spotlessly tidy workshop. This job is what I've been putting off for some reason. I'm going to tidy up the section above the window. I'm just going to make some overhead cabinets, pretty much the same as the ones over the bed. There's probably a potential to make a few mistakes on this. I suppose that's why I've been putting it off. My main concerns are that I don't make it too far away from here because it's over the seat. Obviously you don't want to bang your head when you get up off the seat. So I'm going to have to try and work out what size I can make it so as you don't bump your head. Another thing to consider is that I want to box the solar controller in so it won't be seen. And in the back of my mind, I'm trying to think of a way that I can box it in, yet leaving access in case it needs any maintenance. And I'm going to put some curtains above the window. I've never done curtains before. Maybe it's blinds even. I think it's going to be curtains. So I've got to keep in mind that curtains have to be fitted as well. So that's the three things that I'm thinking about. Well, just to show you how I got on at the start, I've stripped it all down, moved the solar controller out the way, and I noticed that I had the wires coming through here, and the cabinet's going to go there, so I wanted them through that very corner piece. So I had to reroute the wires, was my first job. And then the second problem I came up against was this bump in there, which means the back part of the cabinet can't go along because this is in the way. So because it's on the inside of the cabinet, I'm just going to cut a part out. And as far as trying to calculate how far the cabinets could come out without banging your head, I'm going to try and line them up with that line there. Well, just a little update, and I'm remembering why I was putting it off now. There's always loads of problems that you don't foresee, but hopefully nothing that we couldn't overcome. So we've got the cabinet fashioned to some sort of design on the bench, and probably from now on I'm going to have to fit it. But I've had an idea that I didn't originally think of, but I'll show you. I'm thinking, why don't I put some lights under the cabinet? So obviously you've got to put the wiring in before you put the cabinet up. So all this spaghetti here, that's for the solar stuff, and there's the feed for the there's the feed coming through for the lights. Now they haven't arrived yet, so I can't tell you much about them. I think they're coming tomorrow. I'll tell you more about them when they get here. Well, good old Royal Mail delivered my lights to the wrong address. Now I have got them now, but it took about 4 days. And when I opened the envelope, I got a bit of a surprise because it's a 48mm diameter. Now I don't do metric, so I thought 48mm was about 4 inches. If they said 1.5 inches, I would have known exactly what it was. So they're a little bit smaller than I was expecting. But they're growing on me. They're nice. I'm not complaining. I don't regret buying them. They're ultra thin. They're only 10mm, so they'll fit nice and flush under the cabinets. And they're ultra low consumption. They only draw 0.05 of an amp per light. So that's 1/10 of an amp for both of them. So you won't be worried about running your battery down. So after your tea, when it's starting to get dark and the lull before I go to bed and put a DVD on, I could put these lights on and sit and read or whatever without worrying about drawing your voltage and your battery down. Now I've tried them on a battery and they're both working fine, but it's hard to tell how bright they are at this stage. They're obviously not as bright as the ceiling lights. They're a warm light. Can't remember how to describe them, but it's a warm white. So they'll be fine, and we'll see what they're like when they're fitted. As far as gaining access to the wires for the solar system in case of repairs or maintenance, all I did was cut quite a big hole in the back part of the cabinet so that the wires can pass through quite easily. So if there was a problem and I needed to investigate, I'd just take the 4 screws out of here, and then it would come out to about here, because the wires are quite long behind there, but they're easy to pass through again. And that's the best I could come up with. I was thinking about putting things on hinges to open to get to it, and I was just getting carried away, so that'll do fine. And it's not even seen because it's behind there, and as I said, I've put it on at least inch by inch battens, so there's a big air gap behind to stop the solar controller from overheating. I'm going to put the fascia together with pocket hole joints, but I'm not going to film the whole job because I've done it on a few of my other videos and I don't want to keep showing the same thing. So it's important to keep the frame, the fascia, square, because if you don't, the sliding doors won't fit properly. There you go, just needs a coat of varnish now to make it the same colour as the ceiling. And Conceal yacht varnish is what I use. It looks really nice. The prep work for this is just a quick sand and give it a wipe with white spirits. I've just left one piece unvarnished so you can see the difference. And this varnish gets darker every coat you apply. That's the stuff there. I'm just fitting the lights into the white underside of the cabinets, and the lights have to be secured into material of 5mm or more. Now my board is only 3mm, so I'm just going to show you what I've done to get round that. Right, what I've done is I've cut little horseshoe out of the same material, and what you do is you just put that up and get it started. You might need to use a screwdriver to get you started because it's a bit fiddly. And then push that over, and then again just get the screwdriver and flip that out so that it can go right home. And there you go. See, it's right home, and now the lights will be secure and flush. Well, the overhead cabinets are coming on nicely. We've got the fascia varnished now. I've got 3 coats of it on now. So now I think it's time to start thinking about what I'm going to do with the curtains. And yes, it is going to be curtains. I've made my mind up. So I'm just going to show you something, but I need this first. I'm thinking simple. Nothing wrong with simple. Now what I'm going to do is just put some curtains on with the net wires. You put a hem around the top and hem around the bottom and the slide on the wires. So, but while I was looking at it, I don't know if you can see that because it's the camera see, there is a bit of a sag in the middle of it there. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone. I've made this little button and varnished it, as you can see, and that can go up there, and that tidies up that edge nicely, and it'll also act as the mount for the curtain wire. And as far as I remember, the windowsill is hidden by the back of the seat. I was going to put the seat in first, I forgot. I'm going to try that in a second, but I think the back of the seat comes up here, so you won't see the bottom bit, you'll only see the top, and that should look nice and neat. So I'll put the seat in now just to make sure. Yeah, like I thought, the top of the back of the seat goes above the windowsill slightly, so that'll work fine. Now, I never showed you before, but the lights are working now as well. So if you turn the lights off, and then there's your lights, they'll be bright enough to read. All the varnishing is finished, the fascia is fitted, the runners are fitted into the fascia, the doors are made and fitted into the runners, the curtain batten is mounted. The only thing is now, do I leave it white or do I make it the same wood effect as the one over the bed? Right, I'll think about that while I'm making the wires for the curtains, I think. Right, time to do the curtain wire. Now when you buy it, it just comes in a roll, various sizes, and you cut it to size yourself. Now most of them are white. I didn't want white because my curtains are going to be black, so I've shopped around and got some black ones. They come with a handful of hooks, and you just measure the window and you screw the hook into the end of the wire, because that's how it comes when you get it, and you just screw that in there and screw some more hooks into the frame of your window, and there you go, piece of cake. There you go, it's pretty straightforward. The only thing I would recommend is put a centre support hook in, just to prevent it from sagging when the curtains are on. And of course just do that on the bottom as well, which I haven't done yet, but it's just going to be exactly the same. Well, there'll be no more clamping bits of material over my windows now with my B&Q clamps. I've got curtains now. And I bet you didn't know I was a dab hand with a needle and thread. You would have been right, I didn't do them. I paid for the curtains to be done. And they're 100% blackout curtains, so if I'm parked in a place where strictly campers shouldn't be, on the odd occasion, nobody should know I'm inside, because there's absolutely no light goes through. And the velcroed at the sides and are velcroed where the curtains meet. There's a strip of velcro down the centre and a velcroed at the side, so hopefully there should be 100% blackout. Now, if anybody remembered one of my trips last year, I said I wasn't going to put black curtains in the van because of the heat, but it was a really hot time and very unusual for England, and I don't know, I've gone with black because we don't get many red hot days in England, and it'll be fine. And you've probably noticed I went with the wood effect on the doors. Well, it had to be really, because I had the wood effect over the cabinets over the bed and wood effect on the doors under the seat. So it would have looked a bit out of place if I had white there and then two wood effect ones. But the beauty of that is a sheet of that white board only costs about £12, and I'll probably get all of the doors out of one sheet. Only take an hour, because we've got the templates now. Just draw around them, cut them out. So for £12 I could change the look of the cabinets, and for a little bit extra than that I could get some vinyl and completely change the look, which I might or might not do, I don't know. So this one's done now, and I'll end the video now, and I hope you enjoyed it. So until the next one, you take care, and thanks again for watching.